Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Well, hello there, social media family. Being of any persons among yourselves, or whom are from my followers, as in AK subscribers, to visitors even so, who are affiliated or associated with and representing my own particular YouTube social media channel. Likewise, chat room, conversation. How are you all doing? And for that matter, how are any of your loved ones being in person among themselves otherwise? Being from your relatives, as in aka family members, to friends likewise who are affiliated, associated with, and representing your many different immediate personal households. There's what I want to explore for myself. Anyway, though, the present social media broadcast, being as it is, or some such video content material that includes a post that is rather sensitive and controversial. So, therefore, if any of your person and yourself could possibly have some such rather sensitive ears, then be my guest. Feel free to check out as you pay a visit to other social media channels until you could, come back to mine after mustering the courage to do so, after having become like a little scared, stray, yellow dog caught out in the rain with his tail between his legs. How can I trust you? Anyway, though, whereas the present broadcast is about, those being any persons, those being any person on the likes. I'm no stranger to some such myself. It's about those who, I don't fully understand it, but I'm going to choose the likes of any victims of sexual predator animal monsters. As the present social media broadcast being content material is about, the sexual assault victims and rape victims. Past, present, future. And whereas I asked questions to compliment the main title thereof, the same said in question, form of the previous requirement. As it goes something like this here, so I paraphrase, if not quote exactly. And that is, and to compliment the main title thereof. As I was about to say, finish up and pretty important question. Can your average sexual assault victim or rape victim, especially rises our relationship with God above our circumstances? And because they are above our circumstances, now I can trust Him. The firm foundation, no matter what is going on in my life. That's no matter where things are. I'm sorry, I was not going to get no sleep last night, thanks to certain members of God. You could possibly be knowing like some such other criminal broadcast. But anyway, let's backtrack here. We will put it in, so I can go on following to continue from where my president last left off. I could finish up as a complete form of prior and with the present social media broadcast being as it is a video content material, it's supposed to be about, past, present, and future sexual assault victims or rape victims, and not the much more familiar ones either. And do regard in reference to those being of whom claim to have become and or be believers in the one true God, as in Christians, aka Protestants. And this, the question I put forth to complement the name title to this present social media broadcast video content material is something around the line of thought. Along the line of thought, so I paraphrase if not quote exactly. Can any that is can you tell me whether or not any Christians themselves can or could possibly literally and or actually go the extra mile and forgive their former male attackers, sexual predator, animal monster characters? Let's get me thinking. And as it had been brought to my heart, mind, soul, and spirit, been because of certain neighbors from damn hell, and as I suspect them moonlighting and some such. And whereas I don't think I could do it anytime too soon. I don't think I'm at this stage. Then because I would catch a rapist, closet rapist, maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to work it out. Meet with a digital marketer today for ideas that will make your business stand out. Visit SalemSurround.com. Yeah. I myself, I don't think I'm at this stage. I don't think I could, literally, actually possibly forgive any, attackers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop on collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information. Yeah, I could do it myself. Anytime too soon, especially when I get to reflect upon how I suspect that certain ones in my present public nuisance problem neighbors of AK perverted neighbors from down hell within a really bad neighborhood could more than just practically, but then worse yet could possibly be of the likes moonlighting closet sexual predator animal monster characters or rapists and pedophiles. Yeah. And whereas the very reason why I say that is because there are times that I have woke up in the morning and felt like somebody has violated my person without. Three new shows with one powerful Salem News Show across America. Hi, this is Pastor Jim Scudder. I'd love for you to join this Father's Day for a free concert featuring Greater Vision, one of gospel music's most award-winning trios, right here at Quentin Road Baptist Church. That's Sunday, June 21st at 11 a.m. at Quentin Road Baptist Church in Lake Zurich. For more information, go to quentinroad.org or call 847-438-4494. It's hard to deny the constant attack of negative emotions that flood us online. I'm sorry, did I just nod out again? Because on certain neighbors from down hell keep putting knockout gas in my place. Among other 2-cent power plays that they would go about with. More like I did, as if I had to ask. So I'm answering the question that could come to mind to others compared to how it should be a no-brainer, self-explanatory that I had done and did just that. And as certain neighbors be moonlighting as the likes of the sexual predator animal monsters and would compliment their characters by pumping knockout gas into another neighbor's apartment. And I suspect that that's what they be doing when it comes to minors that was replaced with so that they could possibly, do something worse than just after they were to trespass my parents' properties than to just go through my personal fact belongs in possession as an attempt to bother with me personally. Because as I said and I stated for the record much earlier, how I suspect that my person has been violated time when I wake up in the morning. And I was like wondering, what and whereas if I would catch any one of these neighbors from down here in my apartment as an uninvited guest or unwelcome stranger, I would beat the crap out of them. And I don't mean in an intimate, sensual, or sexual way. And as a matter of self-defense, because that is one of the most heinous or one of the most tragic kind of hate crimes of a civil and human rights violation offense that character like sexual predator animal monsters could inflict upon another individual person. And even now, when I reflect upon how I suspect that certain ones in my present public use of problem neighbors, proverbial neighbors down here, could have possibly violated my person. I mean, it just makes me so pissed off, so mad. Whereas if I were to catch any of them coming the way people and young people especially talk about religion seems to be changing. Yeah. Whether it's TikTok, viral Catholic mass. Oh, that just like that's like sending shivers up my spine or like a bug up on my skin. I think that somebody could have messed with me. Without my knowledge and without my permission. Mess with me. Come off like the likes of them could come off like a Father Michael Flake wannabe. That just pisses me off. So I would give kudos to any former sexual assault victim or rape victim, to any former sexual assault victim or rape victim who could possibly forgive their former or male attackers. And especially if that person is a Christian, who is trying to think of it in a godly way to forgive the character of that being. That is true. That is a rock. That is steady in this cultural environment of sound bites and hot takes and political vitriol and all of this stuff. I'm not at this stage to learn. To forgive a former ex-male attacker who has made me to become a B1's victim. His victim in any kind of way. I mean, I take on the, what you call it, I take on the stand on this issue like President Donald J. Trump, who was saying how the late Mr. Charlie Kirk, he was so generous to pray for those who would attempt to attack him during the course of verbal dialogue or conversation. And where President Donald J. Trump was like saying, I couldn't do that. I mean, he was saying how he just wanted to bust some heads, or any who hold a high disregard or disgust for his person. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This release when we talk about revival. A general social survey study found that among those aged 18 to 34 at the time of the survey, weekly church attendance was in decline.
Yeah.
Another study, which has been reporting data
Especially
since 1973, revealed
especially
that the
if
percentage
I
of
were
those
a
possessing
female,
hardly any confidence in
how
organized
much
religion is at one
how
of
much
the
more
highest
let it be
levels.
said in a statement record
Evangelism
that how much
happening
less
online,
I
but
would be
churches
willing,
overall aren't seeing more
believer in
attendance,
God or not,
congregants.
saved
Until we help the people of
Christian
this
believer
generation
or
see the value
unsaved
of
non-believer,
embodied
unbeliever, how much
personal
less
faith practice,
as
revival will remain an online rally
past,
cry rather than a reality.
past, present, or
Don't give up
future
meeting together.
sexual assault
We
victim,
need
rape
to
victim could
hurry
I
up for this
possibly
next generation.
have it of a man's intentions to forgive
Because,
a
by saying,
former
when
or
telling people my
ex
testimony, I often
attacker
unintentionally say I
of
have
a
bankruptcy.
sexual predator animal monster.
Two ways, gradually and then
Now I would think
suddenly.
that the average
A gradual
female
exploration of
sexual assault
ideas and
victim
exposure to clear
or
online
rape victim would want to
presentations of
take the head
orthodoxy
off of her
led to
former
sudden
ex
growth in
attacker.
faith once I started consistently
And I
sitting
just
in a pew
suspect
every
that
Sunday.
certain
Many
neighbors from
people are
damn hell
thirsty
here,
for truth,
my
just as
present
I
public
was.
nuisance and problem
But when
neighbors in this
Gen
really
Z
bad
revival
neighborhood
surges
are
in
of the
this
likes
country,
of
it'll be
closet
through mature
sexual
believers
predator animal
acknowledging their
monsters
desire for truth
rapists and
and helping them
pedophiles,
see it can be
being as
found
there are
most
bastards
directly
and
through
bitches
a
alike,
life-engaged community with fellow
of the
believers
criminal riffraff from
in
one
the
regard or
service
another.
of a God whom they can trust. Love that, my friends.
Or at least
And suddenly,
have them thrown in jail
much of
and
Gen Z is
throw away the
online,
key
and
on
that's
them
kind of
if
where they're seeing
a former
these testimonies start
ex
to feed us these ideas about
sexual
Christ.
assault victim or rape victim
But
could
then we
possibly
move from there into
get
the
the
embodied
incriminating evidence
community, the
against
family of God,
one's former
as we hope our
or
Gen
ex
Z
male
brothers and
attacker.
sisters get
Anyway, though, that's
connected
what
to
I've
church
had to
and
share with you all as the
disciple.
present
That's
given
what
of
it
the
is.
time,
It's discipleship.
And so on this
It
last
is
note of interest,
great
I'm going to
that there are
conclude by
these
saying more words
major
less.
stadium events.
And
Much like
that
back in the
is,
days
if
when
you haven't
we
gotten
were every
Christ as your own
Sunday.
personal Lord and Savior, I hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing or realizing what He Himself has done and did upon the cross of Calvary and Hill of Golgotha. God who had come in the form of human flesh of a male to try to fulfill biblical prophecy to restore the breach between Himself and mankind or humankind made in His image, so that anybody, regardless of race, walk of life, gender, age, and etc., could profess faith in Him and recognizing how He permitted Himself to be crucified at the hands of Roman soldiers between two thieves, and as they were upon the orders of their superiors, being more so, mainly mostly religious Pharisees and assassins, we might have to worry about ending up in the lake of fire down hell, but could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven, and likewise share the gospel message with others, so that they could also become citizens of the kingdom of heaven and do that the same, share the gospel message of salvation of our Lord and Savior Christ. Well, take care and peace.